All right, let's talk about fixed blades for a couple of minutes. This is from Begg Knives. This is part of their production lineup. This is called the Filoso Dagger. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. This is the 8-inch version. There is a 5-inch version, 5.5-inch version, I think it is. Also available. This is listed on Blade HQ for $108. The 5.5-inch version is $99. I'll put a link down below if you're so inclined. You know, I don't know. I'm not a huge fixed blade person to begin with. And this one here is just odd to me. It's kind of cool looking, kind of historic looking. Comes in black, comes in satin blade steel. In both of the smaller versions also are black or satin finished. Polymer blade, 13 3/4 overall. Let me just go through a couple quick dimensions and then I'll give you my thoughts. How about that? 13 3/4 overall, 8-inch blade, 3 3/4 inch cutting edge, ×2. It is sharp on both sides. Behind the edge is a little bit not, I don't want to say inconsistent, but it's about 0.030. However, one side is a little bit bigger. The other side's a little bit smaller than that, thinner than that. I don't remember which size as I was measuring. And it is mostly consistent, but not 100% consistent all the way through. Whatever. It's AUS 10, AUS 10 blade steel. Weighs in at 10 ounces for just the knife alone. Add in this injection molded type of sheath, and you're at 13.1 ounces. Now, Blade HQ does say that this is a Kydex sheath with belt loop. It does have a belt loop, but this is absolutely guarantee not Kydex. So either I got a dud from my buddy Mark over at Begg Knives, or they're just wrong. And that's kind of brings up a good point, and partially why I started the channel, because there was a lot of misinformation on retailers' websites. And I've noticed this before too. Like if I go to the manufacturer's website, whether it's, in this case, Begg Knives, they don't really have a big thing, but let's use Benchmade as an example. I go to the Benchmade website to look up, I don't have a Benchmade here on the table, but let's just say I was looking this Benchmade up, if this was a Benchmade. And it gives me the description, and I see something that's a typo. And then I go to like Blade HQ or Wild About Sporting Goods or Knives Center or wherever. All they're doing is copying and pasting off the website, because the same typo is in the Blade HQ, the Wild About Sporting Goods. Like they guys, we need to do better. Don't just copy and paste. Went off on a little tangent there. But how did I get onto that? Kydex. Not a Kydex sheath, but it's advertised as a Kydex sheath. Don't buy it thinking you're getting a Kydex sheath. That's my point. Okay, so this knife in of itself is okay. I don't know what the use is for this in real world terms. Okay, and me not being a fixed blade guy, I can say that about a lot of fixed blades, right? Because I'm not going to carry one every day. I don't live in the woods or in the outback. However, if I look at this one, the Bolo Sawback, I think it's called, also from Begg Knives, this one screams, use me to go chop down a tree in the jungle. I haven't chopped anything with it yet, but I want to. I got big ass oak tree in the backyard. I ain't trying to chop that down with this. Plus I'd kill myself and take out my neighbor's house, and then I'd be broke because I'd have to pay all the insurance money. But This screams purpose for me. This one doesn't scream anything to me other than it looks kind of historical to me in my eyes. I don't know what you would really use this for. The handle is 0.64, but to me it also feels a little bit dainty, for lack of better words. This feels substantial, and you're really holding on to this thing. Now, granted, these are different uses. This is not to go out and chop down a cherry tree. This is purpose made for something else that I'm not sure what that something else is. And maybe that's just me. You guys that are fixed blade people, comment down below and tell me I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about, and tell me what you would use this for outside of just putting on the wall or something like that. I think it's super cool, and it's $100, so who cares? This one I did a video on. I don't have the notes in front of me. I think this one was about $189, $179, something like that. And this one, God, I want to go saw something. And it does also come in a very similar injection molded type of sheath, which actually has the speed holes to match the blade, which I think is just a nice attention to detail. And we can argue whether the speed holes are a good idea or a bad idea all day long, because yes, if you're using these to cut things, cut meat or trees and stuff like that, yes, some stuff is going to get in the holes that you then have to go and clean out. So a lot of people just don't like the whole idea, the holes in the blade idea. And that does kind of go for Red Horse Knife Works also. If you're using this to cut meat and cheese and things like that, you are going to get food and whatnot in the holes, which could be a problem. All right, so let me give you a close-up of this real quick from tip down. It's got some stuff from the sheath on it. It's ground really nice. These are made overseas. The finish on it is pretty good. This one was one that was just hanging around the Begg Knives shop that they brought over to me. So it may not be pristine. And I have slashed a couple of cardboard boxes and done a few things with it just to get an understanding about the knife. It does have lanyard hole. Carefully flip it over so I don't cut my other finger on the other edge. Blade steel is not marked anywhere on it that I'm aware of. I didn't look up here in the guards and stuff to see if it was there. No. It's clean. So this polymer is kind of milled with the grooves. You know, all in all, it's a cool knife. I don't know that I need to rush out and buy one for myself, but that's okay. Here it is with a Sharpie. Here it is with my pretend Benchmade, this Kubi KB237, and the Spyderco Delica. As far as other fixed blades, I do have one other one here just on the table because the custom Hellraiser from Jim Skelton with the glow-in-the-dark handles. What's the use of this knife? It glows in the dark and it makes me smile. And I'm a 12-year-old inside of an adult body with an adult paycheck. That was the reason behind buying this one. All right, there you go, guys and gals. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below on this fixed blade and on just bigger fixed blades. What are you guys' thoughts on them? I'd love to hear it, have a little discussion. We did just do an hour on the EDC hour, all on fixed blades. So I'll put a link to that up in the corner, as well as my Begg Knife playlist, which I have a bunch of other productions, customs, full custom, like a whole plethora of Begg knives. So yeah, I love Begg knives. I I cannot lie.